So I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but women can be literally anything they want. And feminists are so proud online saying that feminism is about the right to choose and female empowerment and this and that, right? Okay, so all that fighting for equal rights, all of that, and you guys still choose prostitution. You guys still choose modern day prostitution.
What up, this is Solo Traveler ORD back with another video review. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell while you are here. So with this video review, we're going to go over the whole 304 liberation and why brothers desperately need to get their passports and not deal with these women in the West. These types of women, these liberated women that believe that 304 is the culture and that all men should accept this. No, men will not accept this because we want women that are basically clean. We want women that are have morals. So with this being said, let's go ahead and jump into the videos and see what's up. What does women have that the enemy is so afraid of?
What does woman have that the enemy is so afraid?
The enemy attacks women because he's after the children. I had this incredible opportunity to speak at a church where there was somebody older than me. The matriarch of the church pulled me aside and she said, "Did you ever know Derek Prince?" I said, "No, I never knew him." She said, "Well, I hosted him. We were driving him back to the hotel and my husband and I turned around, he's weeping in the back seat of the car. I'm like, Brother Prince, what is going on?" He said, "I see an attack coming against the women, and if the enemy can get the women, he will get the children." It's crazy. Even in the book, when I was studying about the roots of the current wave of feminism, all about breaking down the American family. They decided we're going to corrupt the men because they're easily corrupted because they're outside of the home. Then we're going to tell the women that being in the home makes them prisoners. And we're going to preach women's liberation. Now, I've been alive since 1960. I saw the sexual revolution. I saw no-fault divorce. I saw birth control pills, access to divorces, making it super easy, access to everything that would undermine commitment. And this has not led us into a good spot.
Man, one thing I gotta say is that one of the best ways to destroy society is by basically injecting this information that is out there. Basically turning women against men and destroying the family. This is how you destroy civilizations, destroy everything. So this is how the culture has been in the West, and you see where it's taking us now. But yo, this is why a lot of brothers travel and look for other women in different countries, because this whole culture in the West is destroyed. It's not good anymore. It's garbage. Let's move on.
The argument that you're making is, as these other service sectors have opened up, men are gravitating into those service sectors instead of just manual labor, right?
Yes.
Then how come women aren't gravitating towards the manual labor sections?
Because the manual labor sections have been either taken over by technology.
No, they haven't. Has roofing been taken over by technology?
No, but what is it? It doesn't necessarily.
Has construction been taken over by technology? Roofing, has even gardening, basic gardening? What about lawn mowing, lawn care? In fact, almost all labor I can think of, which now is heavily inundated with machines, still totally dominated by men. Almost no women do it at all.
But there's a lot less men in average doing those jobs compared to before, because you have had machinery replaced.
But
if it took three,
but this argument still makes no sense.
Please, if it took 5 men to redo a roof or whatever, now it takes 2, right?
Yeah, why isn't one of them a woman?
No, because the point is, as a society as a whole, we have just moved away from manual labor. So obviously,
this
a
argument
woman
makes no sense.
Yes.
Bruh. It makes no sense what she's saying. Yeah, we moved away from manual labor, which makes it a little bit easier. So why isn't the women doing it since we made it easier? Because they don't want to do it. That's why. Let's move on.
Sexual revolution, feminism, and all of that taught us that this is the way to go about life, is to sleep around. Well, we can be the change. We can tell the next generation, starting from right now, this is how you do life. I've done it the other way, and it hurt, and it messes us up. We have so much divorce. We have so much abortion. We have so many people just sleeping around, and we don't know how to love each other. We don't even know how to talk to each other as men and women. And we see the fruit of all of that. And we can be the change and say, this is not how you do it, son. This is not how you do it, daughter. You can be the change. I've tasted the fruit of the revolution of hookup culture, of this degeneracy, and I don't want you to taste it. I want you to do better than me. And that's what we get to do as, you know, husband and wife, as mother and father, and that's what Lawson and I get to do. That's my husband. That's what we get to do for our children, and then they get to teach their children. And honestly, it feels so helpless because the world is so messed up, but it's not helpless. In the same way that they screwed us up, we can change it. We can change the direction that it's going. We can change the rhetoric. You can change it. You see the fruit of it. You don't like it. Be the change.
Yeah, that's true. We could start the change, but here's the problem: is that it took them this long, over 60 years, to even get to this point. And it's not going to be a quick turn. We can't pivot that fast to change things. And a lot of people are not up for this change, and they're revolting against this change. So, as far as going back and trying to make things better, conducive for families, for people to be together. But unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. It's going to take too long. So our generation at this point is not going to happen. So that's why I tell you brothers get those passports, because it ain't going to happen.
We want equality. So you'll give the father of your child 50-50 custody? Oh, no, not like that, not like that.
Sitting in my bedroom, and I got a call from my women's health center. And my doctor told me that my results came back in from my recent yearly exam, and lo and behold, I had an STD.
So I'm sure that a lot of you guys know who Alex Cooper is. She's the stereotype feminist, female empowerment, BS, whatever, right? So what's crazy is that when she first started off, her and her fellow podcaster, Sophia Franklin, they would tell stories about being hoes, and they would like encourage women to be hoes and sleep around and this
Wow.
and that, right? What's crazy is that during this time when she was trying to encourage women to be hoes is when Alex Cooper caught an STD. In the background of her encouraging women to be hoes, she was regretting it herself, sleeping around and being a hoe.
Stupid!
Apparently, she went on a trip with a guy that she barely even knew, was having a horrible time, and she ended up sleeping with him, and she contracted an STD. At the same time, this girl is suffering from an STD, and she is going through a horrible time, all because she was sleeping around. Meanwhile, during that, she's telling women to sleep around. How
Jesus
crazy
Christ.
is that? Why would you encourage women to sleep around when you saw what happens when you sleep around? You saw what happens when you make bad choices like that. You saw how it's damaging for women, and you're encouraging women to sleep around while you're not telling anybody about the STD that you contracted. You're pretending like you're having a good time, hoeing it up. This is just why I say you cannot trust women's advice. Like, they want you to fail. They want you to fail. To be advocating for women and pretend that you're a female empowerment advocating for women, and then you're telling them to sleep around, meanwhile you caught an STD from sleeping around, that's crazy. This girl is now married, and it's funny because she still encourages women to be hoes. Women are still falling for it. They're taking her bad advice. But it's just crazy because it's like they'll listen to women who give bad advice, but they won't listen to women who actually want them to do better for themselves. If I tell women don't sleep around, it's bad for you. Oh, that's horrible. How could you say that? Meanwhile, a woman like Alex Cooper, who had caught an STD and was telling women to sleep around during that same time, meanwhile, that makes her popular amongst women. Like, so crazy. And no one has called her out for that. No one cares. This is the world that we live in. Women support women who give bad advice. Women support bad decisions. But if you want to actually give good advice, or if you want to be a good woman, if you want to be a good girl, if you want to be someone that actually values themselves, oh, how dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, they are part of the machine. That's the thing. We all know. We've seen it so many times. Men have called it out. The fact that these women will sit here and give out bad advice to destroy women, and women will sit there and eat it up and not even pay attention to their actual lifestyle of the person who's telling them to do bad things. You know, good example, Beyonce. That's a good example right there, because she was sitting there telling, you know, all the women to be single and have a good time, and telling them to leave their man, talking about to the left, while she's over there married and dealing with allegations of cheating, and she's sticking by her man no matter what. But she's sitting there telling other women, you know, if they catch their man cheating or something like that, to the left, get the next one, you know, breaking up families and so forth. Although I know that, you know, that's a bad example, but I'm just using that as an example of, you know, how these women will sit here, and there'll be that one woman that's speaking that everybody regards as being, you know, a vocal pivot, a vocal person for the community, and they will sit there and listen to that person and not pay attention to their daily life, which is so sad. But hey, this is what it is. This is why us brothers, we ain't sticking around for this mess. Let me know what you guys think about the videos. You know, leave a comment below, because this is a lot of foolery that goes on in the West. And of course, us brothers, we don't like this stuff. So this is why a lot of brothers are leaving. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'm out.